Today I'm putting on a Banks header on a 96, 97 Jeep Cherokee. Should be a quick and straightforward install. The book shows about 3.8 hours to do the install. This is to replace the stock header. The stock header is pretty busted up. It's a common flaw in the Cherokee for the inline 6. But we're going to get started on it, show you some pictures of the Jeep, and then I'll show you some pictures of the brake and what the Banks header looks like. So here we go. This is the Banks header. Take a look at it here. You'll notice the collector's welded. Individual pipes go in for all the collectors. Very thick flange that you have here. That thickness will help on the twisting and distortion, you know, when it heats up. If you look inside here, collectors come in, see that? That's where they all come in at. The stock Cherokee usually has 2 down pipes, and then the back one will break from all the torquing of the motor. This is the Cherokee that I'm working on right here today. This is the inline 6 4.0 liter. This is stock header or exhaust manifold right there. As you can see from this picture, that crack right there, the customers basically tried to JB weld over it. It didn't work. So this pipe here is completely busted. So what we'll do is we'll disconnect the donut flange here. We'll pull the intake off, and we will replace the header, put a new intake gasket on, and bolt everything back up. But this is where you'll get most of that sound coming from, that exhaust sound from underneath the motor on this type. Okay, so the first thing we did was we took off the bracket that holds your accelerator pedal, idle or transmission kick down, and then cruise control off. Unbolted or unsnapped all the injectors across the back. We'll remove the water pump, the power steering pump housing, and take the belt off. And then we'll disconnect the rest of these connectors here across the back, all the ones that are associated with the intake, and then we'll pull this wire rail off here that houses this wire, disconnect this water temp sensor, and then we'll start unbolting the intake after we get this this pipe off, air pipe off, and then we'll probably remove the air box just so I can get in there easier. Okay, you're going to have to pull the auxiliary fan out. You're going to have to adjust this tensioner, loosen this bolt to slide the belt tensioner down on this pulley here, so that you can take the belt off, and then you can unbolt the 3 bolts that hold the power steering pump on. Actually, probably easier just to unbolt the 3 bolts, the bracket, this, and then take it off. Okay, the Banks is on. As you can see, there's the Banks header, the new gasket's in place. I disconnected the bracket for the power steering pump. I didn't take the power steering pump off, just kind of laid it to the side. Didn't really need to take the fuel line off either, but I went ahead and did that. Got on my bolts, these are my top bolts and stuff. But that's the Banks, it's on. I ran into a problem while I was working on the customer's vehicle. This is the reason that his header broke. It's gone. Motor's sitting there flipping doing this. So, got a new motor mount put on. Got the Banks put on. You can probably see the Banks well right there. New flange gaskets in place. There's the Banks collector and view from the bottom of the motor. And basically it's just reassembled. There's specific torque settings that the Banks has in its paperwork. You want to follow those directions and torque it back up. Be sure to clean your intake a little bit here. get it as clean as possible. A lot of that stuff you're not going to be able to get off. Some of it you will be, but go ahead and just clean it up nonetheless. Put it back together, make sure all your injectors are plugged back up, all your throttle body's plugged up, your map sensor, all your vacuum lines are connected according to the Banks manual, and you're ready to rock and roll. Take it easy.